Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another Chelsea news video. First things first, guys, make sure you smash the like, subscribe if you're new around here, all of that good stuff. We're closing in on 16k, so please do subscribe if you're new, guys. I would really appreciate it. And yeah, where do we start? Romeo Lavia, injured again. I don't know what to say. Maresca confirming in the press conference today that he suffered a small problem and will be assessed in the next hours. Now, we know exactly what that means. We know that that probably means that Romeo Lavia is unlikely to feature again this season, because a small problem for him is we're looking at weeks here. And that might sound cynical and it might sound unfair, but that is the reality, you know. This is what we're dealing with, people. A top player, one of my favourite players, a key component to Chelsea when he's fit. But again, this is really concerning in regards to Lavia. Now, he come back against Arsenal, came on as a late substitute. He's been in training, thinking we're going to have him available for the run-in. Obviously, Jackson's back, Madueke's back, Palmer's back, Fofana's back. Thinking, yep, Lavia back and available. This is fantastic. We're going to have a clean bill of health for the critical games in the run-in. But no, it's too good to be true. Lavia, the guy has played 14 games in the 20 months that he's been at Chelsea. He's only played more than 45 minutes 7 times, and he's not completed a single 90 minutes for the football club. And look, on a human level, on a personal level, this has got to be really difficult for the young kid, because he's just 21 years of age. He's a top player, and he just cannot stay fit. He's getting constant injury issues, and he needs that support from the fans. He needs that support from the club, and he needs that support from his teammates as well, some of which have been in similar positions, namely Reece James. I'm hoping that he will be providing him with support, and the club will provide him with the support that he needs. But we cannot pretend that this is not a concern, and we cannot pretend that this is not a serious source of frustration. And we said many times, myself included, one of Andre Santos or Leslie Ugochukwu should have come back in January. And it's more incompetence from the directors, and it's something that we are going to have to learn the hard way, unfortunately. We signed Matisse Mugu. He's going on loan to Strasbourg next season. He's made a couple of appearances, I think, from the substitutes bench, but Maresca himself admitted that Mugu is not going to be featuring on a regular basis for the club. So you sort of ask, well, what was the point in signing him, to be perfectly honest? But that's another conversation. I don't know when the threshold disappears for the 10 yellow cards and 2-game ban, because right now the prospect of a Reece James, Enzo Fernandez midfield for some critical must-win games in the run-in, because we presume that Caicedo is going to get booked in the next couple of games and will therefore serve a 2-game suspension, is filling me with dread, to be honest. It's really not looking good. And again, highlights how stupid it was not to sign a midfielder in January who can contribute, or to recall one of the players who we had out on loan who could have come in and made a difference. But look, is there a decision to be made with Lavia, guys? You know, I don't want to give up on this guy because there's so much talent, there's so much ability there. And look, we've shown a lot of faith with Reece James, and I think that Lavia deserves that same level of faith. But you would have to slightly worry for him, you know, if these injury issues persist into next season, with Andre Santos back at the club, with Dario Asugu ready to come in and contribute from the off as well. Do we still need to carry Romeo Lavia? Does his importance and significance drop? And does there come a point where Chelsea think, well, hang on a second, we've got other options here. We've got guys who can stay fit and guys who can contribute. Do we maybe look to move him on? I hope that's not the case. I hope this is just, you know, a couple of really difficult seasons in a young, promising player's career, and that he can put these behind him and move on. But something's got to be done here. Why does this guy constantly break down? Why does this guy get injured all the time? Why does he miss so many games of football? Why does this keep happening? Because this can't keep happening. You know, does he need surgery? Is it the way that his body's built? Is he not fully developed into his body yet? Is it the training that he's doing? You know, what is it? And I know that his personal physio, someone that's worked with Lavia and has worked with Chelsea, has kind of baffled as to why he keeps picking up injuries. And, you know, I'm baffled as well. I'm sure many fans are baffled by this current situation. But this has got to stop. It's really disappointing news. And I do feel sorry for him. But there's no sympathy in top level sport. The best ability is availability. But I'm not going to wash my hands with him. I'm not going to give up with him on him. Let's wait and see what the outcome of this small problem is and how many games he's going to miss. If it's just the Spurs game, then okay, fair enough. But I think we sort of know with previous history and with kind of how not transparent Chelsea have been in regards to injuries that this is probably going to see him miss at least 2, 3, 4 games of the 9 remaining in the run-in, which is a real shame. But moving away from Romeo Lavia, guys, into a bit more transfer news. And Fabrizio Romano reporting in his column for Give Me Sport that Chelsea are one of 4 Premier League clubs, along with Liverpool, Manchester United and Arsenal, who are well informed of the situation in regards to RB Leipzig attacking midfield player Javi Simmons, who could be available for between 70 to 75 million euros. I think it's about 58 to 62 million pounds. And it's believed that that is a price that could be affordable for Premier League clubs. Simmons only recently joined Leipzig on a permanent transfer from Paris Saint-Germain. He's a talented boy. Scored a banger against England for the Dutch in the semi-finals of Euro 2024. A lot of ability there. He's someone who's really an attacking midfielder who can play wide. And there's a lot to like about him. You know, you can understand why Chelsea would be interested. Young talent, 21 years of age, fits the recruitment model. I think he'd suit the Premier League well. However, where I'm out is that this is not another type of player we need. Sort of a number 10 who can play out wide if necessary. We've got Joao Felix on the books who we're struggling to get rid of. Obviously, Cole Palmer's here. Esteval's just come in. I know he's not going to be ready to contribute straight away, but there's big plans for him and big hopes for him. And throwing Simmons into the mix just doesn't really make sense. What we really need is an out-and-out winger to come in who can offer a goal-scoring threat and who is going to make an impact from the off. That's the most important thing. We do not need another number 10 type who can play wide. We've got too many of those, and as good as Simmons is, as good as that price might be for a player of his age and his talent, for me, it's a deal that Chelsea should be looking to steer clear of. In regards to other transfer news, guys, there's been a report in the Daily Mail suggesting that there could potentially be a player swap deal involving Chelsea and Borussia Dortmund, involving Jadon Sancho and Jamie Gittens. Now, we know that Chelsea are considering what to do with Jadon Sancho. There's a £5 million penalty clause that can be paid to send him back to Man United. It's effectively looks like it's going to be a 9-game trial for Sancho. If he continues to perform how he's been performing for the last few months, then it's an easy decision for Chelsea, in my opinion. But if he does well, then I'm sure the club maybe will look to keep him for that £25 million price. However, it's all up to Jadon Sancho. Now, there were reports in Germany suggesting that Sancho is pushing for a move back to the Bundesliga, with Dortmund and Leipzig interested. Not Leipzig, sorry, Leverkusen. And it's funny how Dortmund potentially wants Sancho as a replacement for Jamie Gittens, who obviously Chelsea have got interested in, and he'll be attracting interest from a host of other top European clubs. Dortmund may have to sell Gittens if they miss out on Champions League football, which at this point is looking likely given their struggles in the Bundesliga. And a potential sort of cash and player swap deal would potentially make sense here. However, how many times have we heard of these player plus cash swap deals being talked about and they literally never, ever happen? One thing I wouldn't be surprised with, though, is if Chelsea do sign Sancho for 25 mil and then look to sell him for a profit to Borussia Dortmund, or they look to then use him as part of a deal to get Jamie Gittens, because if he goes back to United, then that's it for Chelsea. They've got no control over that transfer. They've got no control over using Sancho potentially as part of a deal for Gittens. Now, for me, I feel right now as things stand, I think that Chelsea probably aren't going to be looking at making this Sancho deal permanent, but they could look to sign him anyway and then look to sell him straight away. I also wouldn't be surprised at that. But I think the chances of Jadon Sancho having a long-term future at Chelsea right now appear to be slim. Jamie Gittens is a player that I like. Jamie Gittens is a player who could come in and make an impact. He's got Champions League experience. Yes, he's still young. Is he ready for the Premier League? only time will tell. But for me personally, I just feel we need someone with a little bit more experience and someone who can come in and make that impact straight away. And whilst Gittens has got talent and he does tick boxes, he's unlikely to come in and make the instant impacts that we're looking for in a key area of the pitch, and an area of the pitch that is so important in an Enzo Maresca system. But yeah, guys, that's just my thoughts on the latest Chelsea news. Big game against Tottenham on Thursday night. Feels like it's been a long time since we've been in action, so looking forward to getting stuck into that one. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Smash the like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you again in another one soon. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Peace.